Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for January 31st, 2021. This month seemed to last forever and also go by really fast. I'm not quite sure how that works. This last week, though, dragged really bad. I don't know about you guys, but it was a long week. I mean, nothing like happened. It was just long. Took forever to get through it. So that's kind of it. There's not much going on. You know, as I said, it's our busy season at work, so I'm busy. Not too much happened this week with that. I do have a medical procedure coming up on Friday. I am not looking forward to. Just, I'm getting old and I'm not happy, but I gotta go do it. So, yuck. Anyway, so, but that shouldn't affect anything on here since I'm gonna pre-filming things. So, but still, blah. Anyway, so other than that, I think my only, the most excitement I had this morning was looking up the Booktube spin video that Rick MacDonnell put up for the first spin, and that was just fun. I mean, this is a quick little video just to get us the number for what book we get to pick between our 1 to 20, and I really enjoyed that. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Especially if you put a list up of 20 books that you were going to read for this. I found it really fun. I'm definitely going to do it next time. But I'll probably be one of the people who makes a new list every time because it'll just depend on my mood, what I want to read. So I think that'll be fun in different categories and things. I don't know. It'll be fun. Anyway, so I'm excited. The book I got was not the one I was thinking I was going to get because it was really close to another one that I really, really wanted. And then it moved a little bit more and it was past that number and I'm like, darn it! So I might need to work that other book in at some point because that kind of told me something about that. Anyway, so let's get on with my update. So I'm going to talk about the books that I finished, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. But let me tell you, I am all over the board, so we'll see what happens. So I finished the Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. This is translated by Philip Gabriel from the Japanese. This is the last book in my Invisible Cities project for January for Japan. So I had, I have a lot of Japanese literature on my shelf, so I had a lot to choose from, but I picked up the two of the cat ones that I bought a little while ago. So I read earlier in the month If Cats Disappear from the World by Genki Kawamura. I think this was, I don't remember who this translated, sorry. This was translated by Eric Selland. So, okay, so I read both of these this month. That was a mistake. If you guys have these books and are interested in read them quite separated from each other. I think it'll go better. I did enjoy this. I think what was so different, so it was the perspective that was different. So this one is told, I mean, this one has a quirky little thing about it because one of the perspectives is the cat. And I did like that. I like the cat in here, Nana, and I think it was really cute the reason why that cat got that name and how the cat met the human that it follows, Satoru, I think is how it said. Yeah, Satoru. So I liked the journey of this, of him taking the cat to try to find a place for the cat to live, but we don't know why. So what I liked about this was that we got perspectives from his friends that he went to visit and kind of got his history through them because he went to a childhood friend, then a middle school friend, and then a high school friends. And then, you know, so it was like you got to see kind of his childhood and how not a very happy one, or, you know, there's a lot of things that happened to him. And I think it showed his strength and stuff, and then having to go, and then what he faces later. So it was, I think that was really well done. I think this was really cute in a lot of ways because of the cat and the cat's perspective. That was the fun part, I think, to this. The difference between this one and this one, again, this one was first person from the man who has to deal with all the problems. We get his heads, you know, we get his thoughts and stuff. So in this one, I just felt a distance from who we're focusing on, which is Satoru. And I'm not sure, I don't know if I agree with the choice. I think it was really neat to see from his friend's perspective about him as he was growing up and their friendship. And from the cat as well. But it was just like, there was a distance and I didn't like it so well. So I liked this, but I think overall I was more affected by this one because it was first person and we were more in the main character's head. So I don't know. I still would recommend this as a great book. Again, do not read these like close together. Again, I read these like 2 weeks apart, which was a bad idea. So I'm still glad I read both of them. I'm still going to keep both of them because I like both of them for different reasons. But I would say this one, I think, achieved more of an emotional response for me than this one, but I still really liked this. Like, I liked the way it went, and definitely the cat made it more fun in that way. So anyway, I just wanted to point out. So again, I think Invisible Cities was fun this month. I did read 4 books for Invisible Cities, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that again this next month, but again, Japan was one of the countries, and we all know I have tons of Japanese literature on my shelf. So after I finished that, I kind of didn't, I'm kind of in the middle of some rereads, and I did try to read another book, and I can't do it. I don't know why. The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon, anyway, sorry. I tried to read this, and I don't know. I've heard such good things about it, and I think if I got farther, I'd probably like it. But I couldn't get past 20-some pages. I was just like, I'm bored out of my mind. And I'm like, what is going on? And the perspective changed, and then it would go to a diary entry. And it was like all this stuff all at once, and it was jumping in time. There were just too many things going on. So this is not a book I DNF'd this for this year probably. Probably won't touch it again this year. And again, this is somewhere about, I think in Vermont. Yeah, so it's like a small town, and there's this house by some weird field, and I don't know how to explain it. All I got was that this family's kind of in turmoil with things that are going to happen and have happened, and then the land was like that beforehand, and I don't know, it was all over the place. And again, to me, it was just way too much stuff going on in the first section, and I was gonna have to read 60 pages of the past before I got to the new timeline, which was the present. And I just wasn't enjoying it, and I just didn't want to force it. So again, I don't think I'm going to DNF this forever. I think this is going to just go back on my shelf, and I will give it one more try, maybe in a year or two. And just maybe it was just the day that I picked it up, I just wasn't into it. Because I hear so many people like this book, and I do want to read more horror and stuff. And it sounds like one I should like, but I had trouble with it. So I don't know if anybody else has had trouble with that. Maybe it might have been just my mood, as I said. So it's a DNF, but it'll go back on my shelf, and we'll try it again some other time and give it a second chance, because this time didn't work out. And then I finished my reread of Cursed to Death by Bill Kreider. This is book 3 in the Sheriff Dan Rhodes mystery series. This is one of my favorite mystery series of all time. I've read all of them, but I have never done a reread. So last year I started my reread. I read the first 2 books in the series. It's a 25-book series. And so I wanted to pick up another one. This year I want to do better about picking up series. And I wanted to definitely get through my reread. So I want to at least get through... Well, I would like to get up to 10 or so by the time I get to the end of the year, but we'll see. I mean, last year I had grand plans too, but that didn't work out. So anyway, this one follows Sheriff Dan Rhodes as he investigates a dentist who goes missing, and then a day or 2 after he goes missing, his wife, the dentist's wife, is murdered as well. And so it's, again, this is small town Texas, small county in Texas. And so you get the main characters are, the sheriff, and then his people who work in the jail, and his deputies, and his love interest. And they're just, they continue through the series, so they're very staples. Like, you get to know all of them. And they're just fun. And it's so, like, small town. I love these series. And again, they're murder mysteries, but, as I said, they're not, I would say they're on the cozy end. I mean, again, people are still getting killed, and it's a sheriff, but this poor sheriff needs to stop going out by himself. I mean, I just love him. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. Favorite mystery series. They're just great, and they're all fairly short. I mean, they're all between 170 and 220 pages. All the books, they're all pretty short, but I just love them. The little mysteries. I usually don't always pick it. Like, again, sometimes I do. I haven't read some of these ones I haven't read since the 90s, so I don't remember any of them. Like, I don't remember how any of them go, so it's been fun because I don't remember. And then I finished my reread of The Warden by Anthony Trollope. This is book 1 in the Barsetshire series. I'm doing a read-along on Instagram with Dickens and Docs, and so I'm hoping to get through this whole series this year. We'll see how this goes. The Warden we only had January to read, but the rest of the books will be over a 2-month period, so we'll see how that goes for me as well. So I read this back, I thought I read this in 2018. Yeah, so I thought it was like a little over 2.5, like 2.5 years since I read it. No, I read it in 2017, so it's even been longer than I thought. No wonder I didn't remember as much as I thought I did. So I enjoyed my reread. It was just, as I said, I tried to read it a chapter a day, but I would do that for a little while, and then I would not read it for a while, and then I'd read a couple chapters and catch up to where I should be, so I could finish by the end of the month. And then this week, as I said, one of the days I read quite a good chunk of it, because I had gotten halfway, and I thought, okay, let's just get like the next quarter done, and I did. And then Friday night I finished it. So I'm very glad I finished this, the reread. Again, I'm glad I did because there were a few things that I recognized from, because again, Barchester Towers, which is the second one, I started in 2019. I started in June 2019, I believe. And I didn't get more than 100 pages because something happened that family-wise that I didn't have time to then focus on it. So I'm pretty sure that's when it was. So anyway, I'll be revisiting that in February and March to get that done for this read-along. But I was glad that I reread this because it does bring up some things that I remember from that one, that just to know the same characters and certain people are mentioned. So anyway, I really enjoyed this reread, and I'm glad I did it. It just took me a lot longer than I thought it would for a 210-page book, but whatever. I got it done. That is the main part. So then let's talk about the books that I'm in the middle of, that I'm actively reading. Let's see here. I'm not going to be able to find this in my... So I decided to do what I'd planned. I had not picked up an ebook this month, and again, that is on my list of prompts, which I'll get to here at the end. But I just, this month was just weird on reading, like overall. Like I didn't pick up an audiobook all month. I didn't, as I said, I didn't pick up an ebook. So it was kind of just that kind of month. But I did on Thursday decide, okay, well, I want to read something at work, but the book I was eating something that took my both hands. I had a hamburger, sorry. Anyway, and so I thought, well, I'll just download one of my ebooks, and I got, again, hundreds that I could read. So I picked up, of course, the first book in another series. Dude, it's so good on the series, guys. So I picked up An English Bride in Scotland by Lindsay Sands. This is her first book in her Highland Brides series. I think like the 9th book or something just came out, and it sounds really good, but I'm like, wait, I have the first one on ebook at some point I picked up. So I decided that I'm going to start this series. I don't know why. It sounds fun because these are historical romances, but they have a lot of humor in them as well. So we're following Annabelle, who is about to become a nun. I mean, she's like weeks before she is supposed to take the veil, and her mother shows up in the very early morning hours of a day to pick her up and take her home, and because she now has to marry a Scottish lord because her older sister ran off with the stable master's son. So we get Annabelle, who has been her whole life thought she's going to be a nun, and now she's suddenly going to be married to a Scottish lord. And then we have Ross, who is the Scottish lord, who has a lot of trauma in his life, and he comes and he's supposed to marry one of the daughters of this man because that man and his father knew each other in the war. Anyway, and so and he's like, what do I do? Poor guy. Anyway, so I haven't got very far. I've only read 2 chapters. So far I really enjoy it. Their wedding night was funny. Anyway. Sorry. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. I usually like Lindsay Sands. I usually read her Argonaut Vampire series, which I need to get back to as well. But I wanted to try this one. I tried one of her historicals before and I didn't enjoy it as well, and I can't remember what the name of it is. I blocked it out of my head. I have it on my list somewhere. But this series I hadn't tried, and I heard good things about this one. So I thought, oh, I'll give her another shot in the historical realm. And I heard the Highland Brides were a good way to go. So anyway, I'm going to read that at lunch at work. So this is going to probably take me, well, I mean, I'll probably at some point stop reading it just at lunch and read it when I get home. But at this point, it's going to be my lunch book. So it might take me quite a bit into February before I get done with that. But that is kind of my goal on that. Anyway, so then yesterday, I did try a chapter tag, so you guys will be seeing that sometime this next week. So I did read some stuff that I can't talk about right now. Anyway, but you'll see the video. And then it was like the afternoon, and I'm like, well, what do I read now? And so I made a little mistake on my book journal. I was doing some stuff on in my office here and library, and I was marking off some of my series, how many, like coloring the boxes of how many I've gotten done in certain series of the ones I've started so far this month. I haven't done them all, but I did the ones that I'd already put in there. And I accidentally marked the second book of one of those series that I've only read one of the books. So I go, well, I better read book 2 since now I marked it off by accident. So I picked up the second Honey Badger Chronicles book, In a Badger Way. So this takes place right after the last one, which again, the title just went out of my head. I just read it, Amy. Hot and Badgered. So I wasn't planning to pick this up quite so soon, but yeah, it was. These are just so much fun, and I'm really getting into it. I've only got about 130 pages out of 410. So, I mean, I did a good chunk last night. I could have probably read more if I hadn't watched so much Booktube, but, you know, I watched a lot of Booktube last night. Anyway, but I'm really enjoying this. This is just, it's just fun. I love Shen, the male lead in this one. I like him a lot. Like, I like him. He's a giant panda. I love him. Anyway, and Stevie is just, she's neurotic. Anyway, so, but I just love him. Anyway, but the story, again, it's continuing. It's just a madcap. It really is just, it's hard for me to explain really what's going on. Just know that the shifters all over the place. They're all, you know, the wolves and bears and, again, pandas. And then there's tigers and, you know, other ones, and then there's the honey badgers, and they're just nuts. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying this. Again, this is book 2. Book number 4 is coming out in August, so I definitely wanted to get to this soon so that I would catch up and read all the books I own in the series. But anyway, I accidentally made a mistake in my book journal, so I have to read this book because I already marked it done. So we are going to read this. So I don't think I'll get it done today. It might be might end up in my February numbers, but I'm glad I picked it up. I was enjoying this right away. So anyway, so I'm hoping to get that done. If I don't get it done today, I'll probably get it done Monday. They're just so much fun, and I'm excited to do that. So then next, so then we want to talk about what books I might read next. So again, my TBR will go up probably tomorrow. So I have a lot of options of things like, I really want to get back to the Vicomte de Bragelonne by Alexandre Dumas. This is the 3rd book in the D'Artagnan romances. Okay, so I'm mad at myself for this. So I read a really good section, or, you know, good chunk of it one day, and then I went to read it the next day, and I just didn't want to because I didn't like one of the decisions that D'Artagnan made. And because, again, it's him and the 3 Musketeers. You know, they're older. This is when they're quite a lot older, like in their 50s. And he made a decision, and I'm not sure I really like it. But the problem is I stopped at the chapter before it changes perspective to somebody else. And I'm like, and I looked at that this weekend, and I went, oh my gosh, it changes. I should have just got through that chapter, the next chapter I didn't want to read, and then get on to the next perspective. And then I probably would have taken off again. So I really want to get back to this one. I am 160 pages in of 660, or, well, 660. So I still have 500 pages of this book to read. I really want to get this done. Again, this is the last of my 5-star predictions. This is a classic that I want to read because I'm going to read the rest of the series. It's a series. It's everything. It's 660 pages. It's a big book. And I got it all here. And it's a historical fiction. And Anyway, so this is what I'm hoping to pick up next. But, you know, again, it'll matter on my mood when I'm finished in a Badger way. If I feel like I want to dive into this, I will. I just feel like I will soon. If it's not this week, it'll be next week, but we'll see. I do want to try to get back to this. I really want to read that. But I have to be honest and say that another book is just calling me to try again. And this is a book that I tried when it first came out because, and again, I don't remember who I had friends who must have read it because I heard about it. I don't even know what year it was. So this one says 2006. So I think it was right after I met a lot of my writer friends in Sacramento. I joined a group that was, you know, very diverse and everything. But I mean, they read a lot of them read fantasy and stuff. So I think one of them was like really big on this book and was like, oh, you got to read this. And I think I got it and I tried it and I don't think I gave it really a big shot, but then I didn't really know what to do because it was a different kind of writing style, or not style, but characters than I was used to. And that was because it is The Blade itself by Joe Abercrombie, and it was like the first grimdark that I had picked up. And I didn't quite know what grimdark was at the time, of course, because that was not a term thrown around as much, or not, it hadn't come to be, I don't think, at least I had not heard of it. So I read the first chapter or two, and I was like, I don't know about this, and I put it down, and then I think during one of my moves, I got rid of the book, or I let someone borrow it and I didn't get it back. I can't remember what happened to it. It disappeared. So a couple of years ago, I, on one of my yearly trips to Pal's bookstore, I think my dad and I, when we spend our Christmas money, I think I bought this on one of those trips. Either that or I went to Pal's another time and I had credit or something. I bought this on credit. That's all I remember. Credit or gift card. It was like, so technically it's a free book. But I wanted to try it again. Because the First Law trilogy is one a lot of people talk about. And right now, there is like, I think there's like 3 or 4 different groups of Booktube reading this for people in their Patreons or other things. And I'm like, I'm not in any of those Patreon groups or, you know, doing on that. But I keep hearing about it. And I feel like I should read this. So if I feel inclined to pick up another fantasy right away, I think this might be it. If not, I might be picking this up sometime in February or March. I feel this is going to happen soon to at least try it again. Because again, I only read like a chapter or 2 and I put it down thinking, oh, I'll come back to it. And I never did. And again, it's been over 10, it's probably closer to 13, 14 years since I tried this. So I really want to try it again and see if I can get into it. I don't read much grimdark. I own a couple things now that would be considered grimdark, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it. So we will see. I really want to try this. So if you guys have read this and you can encourage me to pick this up, I do want to. This is one I want to pick up soon. So I don't know if it'll be March or February, but yeah. It'll be in the next couple months, I think. I think it'll be at the latest, it'll be in the spring. At least I want to pick it up one day and try it. So it might be just one of those things where I just pick it up and just try it one day. I might not read it right away, but I might do like a try a chapter just with this single one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. And then the only other thing that I'm hoping to start reading again is get back to Red Comet, The Short and Blazing Life of Sylvia Plath by Heather Clark. I have the audiobook, and then I bought the book because I just love Sylvia Plath and I just wanted my own copy. And again, I don't buy hardbacks very often, but this one I got with money for Christmas, so there's that too. But I've only gotten 92 pages in of like 900 pages. I think that's not including notes. I don't remember how it is. Anyway, but so I still have like 40 hours on the audiobook. I'm going to do a lot of filing at work this week. I had gotten all my files ready to do for the whole year. They were all in my office. Anyway, so now I'm going to move them upstairs to storage. And they finally cleared everything out so that I'm able to do that. So this week that's my plan, is to be with my audiobook upstairs doing some filing, which I hate filing, don't get me wrong. But I want to get back into this, and I haven't listened to an audiobook all month for January. It never happened. I never felt like it. I listen to Sirius XM in my car all the time. Anyway, so I want to get back into this because this biography is just one I really want to get through, and I've seen so many people put 5 stars on it, and I was already loving it. Like, it was fantastic just in the 92 pages I got to. The first 8.5 hours or 9 hours. I don't remember what it was. I got something like that. And I want to read more of this, but it's like 900 pages. So I need to so I'm hoping in February that I make a really good dental on it. I don't know if I'll finish it because 40 hours is still a lot on an audiobook, even though I listen at 1.5, but it still will take me quite a long time. Anyway, but I really, really want to get back into that. Again, I listened to it in December, and then I was listening to Christmas audiobooks, and then I just never got back, and I really want to get back. Because actually that was probably end of November, early December, so it's been a long time, so I want to get back into that. So anyway, that is it. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I get to do one more thing. Okay, so we get to go to the prompt board. So I get some weird ones this time because I had 2 rereads because I had The Warden and Kreider, so, and Cursed to Death. So I got 2 rereads. I still don't have any of these. I did get another Invisible Cities, so I got my 4. So that was pretty good. I do get a classic now because The Warden, even though it was a reread, is a classic and it was published for that. And then, okay, so I think I am going to count Cursed to Death and The Warden count as continue. Even though they're both rereads, but I'm continuing those series. So I think that's it. I think those are of the ones I finished. Yeah. So anyway, so this is my January. Like, this is the only thing that could change is I get another continue if I finish In a Badger Way today. But so this is kind of my board. I don't know how to, there you go. So I think I did pretty well. I did start one and I did continue in 6. Well, they're not 6 series, it's 5 series, but because one was a double. One was in the same series. I got 1 classic. Not so great. I did get 4 translated works. They're all for the Invisible Cities, though. So I did get 3 nonfiction. I failed at historical fiction. Now, again, if I do decide to count for romances, I do have 2 for that. But I think I've come to the decision, historical fiction, where I'm having trouble is not historical romance, because I definitely picked that up, but not historical fiction. So I want to work on that. So I'm going to keep that just fiction and not romance. So that's why there's nothing there. Ebook, again, I started one, but I'm not going to finish it in time. I did get 1 over 700 pages, but my other ones that were supposed to be in here didn't get done. And again, I didn't get to my 5-star prediction. And I did get 3 rereads for the month. So I think that is pretty dang good. That was fun for my first time doing the prompts. I will now probably erase this and put in my February. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. I don't need to keep it anymore. So I'll probably take a picture of it just so I have it for later. But anyway, I thought that was pretty dang cool. So anyway, that is it. So I hope you guys are reading something good. Let me know. Did you guys do the Booktube spin? What did you guys get? And then tell me if I should pick up the blade itself. I'm kind of want to go there, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.